sure I can't play outside? I'm wearing my new jacket.
No chance, Queen Diva Marie. It's pouring outside. Some may say that it just might hail. You see what I did there? Yeah, either way, I can't risk you talking to the neighbors, and in all honesty, I would play with you, but I have a lot of figure reviews coming to LJV very soon, and October's almost here, so I'm a little stressed. But I did make something just for you that you could play with inside.
Oh boy, what is it? A blowtorch? Fireworks?
No, this is for indoor use. I made you your very own paper plane.
Oh, cool. Will it float?
It should fly. I don't know about floating. But either way, she's all ready for you, and she's ready to make her first flight pilot.
Thank you, Mayor Aaron. Can I get a kiss?
No. How about a fist bump? Huh? Oh, you got me, you rascal. Now take your plane and go out and have fun. Now be careful.
No promises. Bye. Queen Diva Marie Airlines taking off. Hi-ya! Yay! Look at it go!
Queen Diva Marie. What a nice plane. Do you want it back?
Yes, please.
You're a pretty girl. I bet you have a lot of friends.
I have about 6 friends. Well, sort of 5 because Mayor Alexa hates me. Mayor Aaron is my best friend, though.
Where is he?
Too busy to play with me, working on figure reviews.
Oh, I bet he's only working on women's figure reviews. That's a shame, because there are so many wonderful men's wrestling figures.
That's what I tell him, too. Yeah, he's stressing out because October is coming soon, and he has lots of figures to review. He's just a mess.
Stressed? I bet you I can cheer him up. I can give you a balloon to give to him.
I don't know about that. For one, Mayor Aaron doesn't like helium balloons because when he sucks the helium air, it makes him sound like me. And for 2, he has also taught me to never take things from strangers. And, no offense, but you're like the definition of stranger danger.
Oh, how rude of me. My name is Dink, the figure clown. I know who you are. The Royal Queen Diva Marie of LJV. See? Now we aren't strangers.
I guess. But, what are you doing in a box anyway?
Well, Mayor Aaron seems to have all but forgot about all the men's wrestling figures out in the world. But he keeps them all in this very same box to collect dust and rot.
Ooh, any hot guys in there?
Oh, yes, lots of hunky men in their chundies right down here. You should come see.
Yeah, on second thought, I'm getting super creepy ick vibes from you. I think I should go back and check with Mayor Aaron. Can I have my plane back?
Oh, okay. Well, you know where to find me. Here's your plane. Go ahead, grab it.
Okay, let me just...
Oh, don't be afraid, Queen Diva Marie. Go ahead. Reach inside the box and take the plane. Take it.
Jeez, fine. Dang, you need to learn some manners, boy. Anyway, just let me grab my plane.
Queen Diva Marie. Are you good? I could have sworn I heard you yelling. Where are you? What? I'm sure Queen Diva Maria just misplaced her crown. I'm sure she's fine. She never gets in any trouble. Either way, I'm gonna put distractions aside for now, and we are going to focus on reviewing the very exciting debut rookie figure of Thea Hail in WWE Main Event Series 151. We have the regular and the chase versions, and these look cool. I'm real excited to take a look at them. And honestly, I ordered a couple extra, and I think I'm going to do a giveaway this month for them. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But without further ado, let me get my mind right, and let's take a closer look at these figures. Queen Diva Maria, I'm sure she's fine. Alright, so let's start off by taking a closer look at the packaging. Now, I absolutely love, and I've said this before in my videos as of late, I love the rebranding of the basic line to the main event series. I love that it has its own identity. Hopefully it gets a little more respect, because there are some amazing women's wrestling figures that come out in the previous basic line or the main event series that really wouldn't even get a second thought just because they were quote-unquote basic. So I really like the rebranding of the line. I think it did bring new life into it, and I absolutely love the packaging here. Not only the unique shape, how it kind of goes in on the side. I love that we get the superstar in the corner, takes up a big portion of the package, and we also have the name. And the first time in the line, a little yellow line. Sometimes they forget that on the figures, but I really like how it's in yellow, so it really pops out and stands out, and you know that this is Thea Hail's very first figure in the line. Now, obviously, we have two very different looking Theas in front of us. We have the regular version on the left, and we have the chase version on the right. Now, a good way to remember this is the chase version has the chase U top. Now, this is the Thea Hail that I think of when I think of Thea. You know, this is kind of her gimmick when she joined forces, if you will, with JC, and I think it looks really cool, but I really do wish the Chase U version was the regular line release, and then the Chase was this kind of more abstract, different type Thea. But they've done that in the past with women's basics. I want to say it's been a little while, but a lot of times they make the Chase version kind of the more regular or the more normal attire, and then the regular version that they release, the standard version they release, is kind of the more abstract attire, and they kind of continued that here. But either way, I think they both look really cool, and I love how they're unique in their own rights. So obviously the packaging, besides the figure itself, is the same. We move to the back here. We have an image of Thea. We have her signature move. We once again have that first time in the line. She's classified as a grappler, and then we have the rest of the line. This Andre Chase actually looks really cool. But yeah, so with that being said, let's open these up, and let's start off by taking a closer look at the regular standard release. WWE Main Event Series 151 Thea Hail Standard Release. This attire is from the September 26, 2023 episode of NXT. On this night, Thea, accompanied by JC Jane, debuted a new look and defeated Danny Palmer. Some overall first impressions of this figure are actually really, really good. I was a little nervous when I saw the final product online. It looked like you could really see her teeth that were painted in between the lips, and it looked goofy. But I have to tell you, having it in hand, it looks really good. We'll look at the face sculpt and scan next and really take a look at it up close. But my first impressions of this figure are good. It feels like Thea Hail. It's nice and muscular, it's kind of shorter in stature, and it's a solid figure. What I love is it actually stands. This figure actually stands. I have that issue so much with my women's wrestling main event or basic style figure. So this figure is solid. Now with that being said, let's take a closer look at the face sculpt, face scan, and hair sculpt. Alright, so starting off the face scan, face sculpt, and hair sculpt, I think this figure looks so much better in person than those final product images that we saw on Ringside Collectibles Instagram and also on the website. In those, you can kind of see like teeth painted between the lips, but here I can tell you, you don't see any teeth, and that makes it look 100 times better because it looked real goofy. And I think in those images, it was just the shine, kind of the glare coming off the lip gloss there that made it look like there's teeth painted in there, but they're not there, at least on this figure, so that's great. And I think it looks really good in person. Now, do I think it looks perfect? I don't. I feel like it's a little off, and I'm going to zoom out here for a second and show you what I mean. So if you look at Thea, her image on the back of the package, you can see that it looks a lot like this figure. However, I think where they really messed up is the face shape. The shape of the face overall, I think, is where they missed it. I think that the sculpt that they used is way too long of a sculpt, and I think that's what's a little bit off about it. Do I think it's terrible? Absolutely not. Do I think it's good? I do, but I don't think it's perfect. And that's okay. This is her first figure, and for what it is, I mean, it does look like Thea. I really do like... The lips have a lot of personality. It sounds crazy, but if you zoom in, you can see a lot of detail went into the lip color itself. We also have her signature eyebrows there. Her eyes look good. Everything on the scan looks great. And like I said, I just think the sculpt might be a little too long. But it does do a pretty good overall job of resembling Thea. Now, her hair sculpt is cool. It's just a very long blonde sculpt. I do wish that it had maybe some root colors added or some highlights, something to make it look a lot more realistic than what it is here. But I think it works, and I really do like the sculpt. So yeah, I think that the sculpt and scan is a good first attempt. Hopefully we get a Thea Elite in the future and they correct that face shape, because as it appears now, it does look a little long. It looks a little bit off, and I think that is what it is. So let me know in the comments what you think of the sculpt and scan, because I think it's a little bit off. So in my opinion, this body sculpt is perfect. I think they did an excellent choice with body part choices on this figure to really resemble and portray Thea's muscular physique. I think it looks great. I think it really shows her physique, her stature. I think this is the perfect choice of body parts and torso and everything for Thea. It just looks amazing. I think it's really, really good. Now, looking at the attire closely, if we look at the top here, as you can see, we have a lot of paint detail, not a lot of sculpted detail as far as the attire goes. That's how these women's main event figures are, and sometimes it works, sometimes not. And here, I think it works just fine because the paint application is very intricately put on the figure. As we can see, we have this black top with kind of silver design accents on the sides. We have this black strap going up with a little silver loop. And looking at the back, we have some black straps. That black top continues to go around. The bottoms here are painted black with a little silver. We have these black lines painted up to signify her little stocking things that she wore. And then we also have these really cool knee pads that are black with the silver design. And yes, these are that really cool stretchy rubber material that I was hoping they would start using on knee pads more. We saw it in a Charlotte main event or basic series figure previously, and we've seen it in a couple women's figures, but I hope this becomes the new standard for knee pads because it's just really cool, and it allows, I'm not going to bend the knee, and I'll tell you why later, but it allows for posability, and it looks really cool. And moving on down to her feet, we have the kick pads and boots, and what's cool is these are painted very nice. It does look like the kick pads are on top of white boots there. We can see some white painted. The soles are black. So yeah, this figure, as far as the attire goes and the body sculpt, it's really, really cool. And honestly, I'll have to put it next to the JC Jane basic figure and see how cool they look together, because I bet you they look really, really cool. Now, that being said, let's move on to the Chase version. WWE Main Event Series 151 Thea Hail Chase version. This attire is from the NXT Gold Rush event from June 27th, 2023. On this night, Tiffany Stratton would defeat Thea to retain the NXT Women's Championship. So this is the Thea that I think of when I think of Thea Hail. This attire is awesome. They really went all out on this figure. I love it, love it, love it. The one thing I will say, and I didn't really notice it until I looked at this attire with the Thea, is I wish the face sculpt and scan had a more expressive face. Almost like a yelling or some high energy emotion that she is so good at portraying on TV. I think that'd be awesome. You know, I do like that she has a little bit of a smirk, and it does have a good resemblance of her, but I wish it had more expression, more emotion, kind of like a yelling, crazy Thea. I think that would really add to this figure. But yeah, this Thea is the Thea I prefer out of the two. This is just the Thea I think of when I think of Thea. Now, taking a closer look at the face, obviously it's the same sculpt and scan as the previous one, and we'll even bring it in to see if there's any major differences here. Nope, it still, in my opinion, has that sculpt that's a little too long. From top to bottom, it's a little too long of a sculpt. But, as I mentioned, it does resemble Thea pretty well. It does look like her. I think they did a good job there. I just think the sculpt needs to be altered a little bit. And once again, if you look at the lips, there's no teeth showing through, so I really do think that was the reflection that I saw on the images online. I think that really threw off the face sculpt and scan. But here, it looks good. You know, as I mentioned, is it perfect? No, but I think it's really good, and it does resemble her. So with this being a chase version, it's the same body sculpt, same head, everything. The only thing different is the paint application of the attire. And as I mentioned, this is the Thea Hail attire that I think of when I think of Thea. And there's a lot of detail that went into this. Not a lot of sculpting, just like the previous one, but that's okay because most of her attire is very tight fitting. Now looking here, we have a little sculpting across the chest here to simulate clothing, and that is something that was on the other one. But here we have the much more I guess, iconic Chase U colors of red, black, and white. We have the Chase U and text in the middle with black. We have a white top with red accents, and we have little black striping going across the midsection there. And even in the back, look at the designs that they included here. That looks really, really good. The bottoms have a black waistband, kind of dips down. White with red accents. We have white knee pads, which actually, they are not the same material now that I'm feeling it. These are kind of more of the standard knee pads that we always get. And these are that stretchy rubber material. Like, think of the Becky Lynch Elite 100 jacket. That's real stretchy rubber material. The Ronda Rousey Elite that came out with the rubbery leather jacket. It's that technology, and I love it for the knee pads. And maybe it's because these are higher knee pads. That's why they use these and they didn't use them here. But I much prefer this style. I really do like the stretchiness. Here, they're just a short, hard sculpt white ones with a little black accent. We have red boots, red kick pad, and a little white design on the front there. So, yeah, this attire is really, really cool. I think it is one of the best women's main event or basic figures we've looked at this year, honestly. So if you're looking at these two figures side by side and you're just looking for one Thea in your collection, I would actually 100% go for the Chase. As I mentioned, that seems to be the more iconic attire. However, I really do like this all black attire that we have on the standard release. Now, what I'm going to do now is see how this standard looks with JC. Oh, these figures look so cool together. I'm glad I had an extra JC. I have JC and Gigi over here to the right on my NXT shelf. And these two look awesome together. Honestly, these look amazing together. I love it. JC's all like, I'm a bad influence. You should wear black. And Thea's all like, I'm going to wear black. You are a bad influence. And that's kind of what we got here. Yeah, these figures look awesome together. Now, while we have this figure out, what we're going to do is a little scaling test. Now, scaling is something that Mattel and Jazzwares are terrible with. I really don't cover it in detail, except when there's instances like Caden Carter and Katana Chance looking like this next to each other. That's ridiculous. So, Katana Chance, 5 foot. Caden Carter, 5'2". As you can see, Caden's about a head taller than her. Now, Thea is 5'5", listed at 5'5". So putting her next to these, she looks like she's probably better scaled than these other two. Caden's too tall, Katana's too short, but Thea looks just right. So these two are kind of outliers. I think Katana, they made her tiny, 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 and that's cool and all because she's so short, but it just kind of looks ridiculous, especially when you have Caden Carter, who's 2 inches taller than her in real life, that much taller than her in person. And even though Thea should be a little bit taller than them, I mean, it's close. So, honestly, these two, I can't even begin to tell you the disappointment that they bring to my soul. And I'll cover that in a different video. I don't even know why I brought them out here, honestly. Because this Thea, as it stands, looks excellent on the shelves. I think it would look great next to your women's elites, women main event, basic figures. I just think it looks really good. It's proportioned really well. And it's an excellent figure. And as I mentioned, which one's better? That's hard to say. I mean, I prefer the Chase U one, but it all depends on what version of Thea you like. Now, I sometimes do articulation, but I'm not going to do articulation with the women's main event figures anymore because I actually had my katana leg clipped off. It just broke right off when I was trying to move her knee, and I hate to do that with these figures because I don't want there to be a wasted figure out there with how hard these are to come by. And yeah, she has a single hinge at the knee, and I'm sure it can bend fine if you heat it up and whatnot, but I'm not going to do that here. But yeah, articulation's never been a big catching point of the main event or the basic series. However, it's cool that we do have the swappable hands. We can maybe give her some open hands, really give her some excitement, some motion and expression, but yeah. So overall, I give WWE Main Event Series 151 Thea Hail, both the standard and the Chase versions, an overall score of a 9.6 out of 10. These are excellent, excellent basic style main event women's figures. They're definitely in the running for women's main event figure of the year, in my opinion. But I think the only thing holding it back from being a perfect 10 is the face sculpt, as I've covered a bunch, appears to be a little long. And also, I wish they would have given her a more expressionate face. She is so full of emotion when she performs, and she is a one-of-a-kind superstar. I wish they would have gave a yelling or a crazy-looking face. I think they really missed an opportunity with that. Hopefully we get another in the future, but I think that's the only little nitpick I have because both these figures are excellent figures, all in their own right. The Chase version's cool because this is kind of the more Chase U Thea that we all recognize. I have a signed 8x10, over my shoulder. And then the other one is actually really detailed nicely and looks excellent as well in the all black. And like I said, it looks great with that JC basic figure. So yeah, these Thea figures are amazing. And if you collect women's wrestling figures, I would absolutely go to Ringside Collectibles and pick them up. I don't know if the Chase is in stock currently, but I know the regular one is, so I would go and at least pick that one up and maybe look for the Chase in stores when it starts hitting shelves. I think these figures are definitely worth it. Thanks for stopping by LumberJillville. Women's wrestling lives here. To get a first look at all future women's wrestling figure reviews, make sure to hit subscribe and become an official resident of LJV today. Now there are tons, and I mean tons, of brand new women's wrestling figures coming to LJV very soon. Just in time for Jill-O-Ween. I'm sure Queen Diva Marie is around here somewhere. I'm sure she's fine. But either way, just make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss anything, right? Now, head on over to ringsidecollectibles.com and use coupon code LGV at checkout to save 10% on your next order of women's wrestling figures. Now, there is going to be a very exciting review coming up, something a little different. And my next review is going to be Main Event Series 152 Liv Morgan. I'm real excited for that, and what I'm really excited about is the fix-up I did to that Liv Morgan. And I'll cover that in the video, so stay tuned to LJV. That should be here by the weekend. Now, thanks for watching, and have a great night, y'all.